This article by Bettina Arndt, The Boys Club is Under Siege, which is true. Why women covet everything traditionally is reserved for men. She's got it wrong, though. The girls do not covet what men have. They just want to take things from men out of spite and dominance. This is why these writers always get it wrong, and I'm getting it right. Now, look at this. Why do so many women have it in for male cyclists? All the jokes about unsightly middle aged men in Lycra, complaints about tight clothing revealing everything it shouldn't. Notice that the fat shaming business goes out the window when it comes to men. So remember, everyone, don't give in to the fat shaming garbage. That's just women saying, you can't say anything nasty about me, even if it's true. That's what that is. Seems to be a growing female irritation with blokes getting up at the crack of dawn, gathering in large packs to go through their paces, and sitting around coffee shops having a manly chat. How dare they have so much fun? I don't know about how much fun, but how dare they have freedom without women there to dominate them? That's what it's really about. I'm wondering if this is just one more activity that traditionally attracts men, a boys' club, which women resent and want to take over. They do resent it, but not because men have some. They resent men, period. Doesn't matter. Okay. It reminds me of covetous children. Okay. They're trying to say these nasty people are immature. They're not immature. They're nasty. Haven't we all witnessed kids who have, no, I don't want to hear that. She's got it wrong again. Women seem endlessly to covet things that give men a thrill. Exactly. But it's not that they covet the things, they don't want men to have any pleasure, right? They love to take over activities previously reserved for males. These aren't reserved for males, though. These male cyclists they're talking about, they're not reserved for men, are they? The women could join, they just don't. So it has nothing to do for something that's reserved. They determined men shouldn't be allowed to enjoy anything that was traditionally their territory. Again, they feel that men shouldn't be allowed to enjoy anything, period. That's what it's about. Everywhere there are women making the case that men should be forced to share their toys, but these men aren't sharing their toys. It's not just their stuff. It's men being left alone in groups of other men, right? There's no women there to keep an eye on them and make sure they don't have joy and freedom. That's what it's about. Now they're saying these bicycles, toys like bicycles, they're not toys, it has nothing to do with the bicycles. It has with twice as many men and women enjoying regular cycling. There's a major push to attract more women. That means making it safer. The main reason most women don't cycle in the UK is because they think it's dangerous, claims the Guardian editor. Well, it's no more dangerous than anything else, you know. Fair enough. It isn't fair enough. You know, these women are demanding things that aren't necessary. The guys put up with the traffic. That's their problem. But I do agree, there's nothing wrong, by the way, everyone, of the UK getting bike trails. There's nothing wrong with that. And it does make things safer and easier. It's just that that's not the motivation of these women, right? Because they're talking about building cycling infrastructure that is explicitly feminist. In other words, something that men can't use. If they build this infrastructure, what they're saying is that men won't be allowed to use it. It'll be just strictly for the girls. That's what they mean by explicitly feminist. Okay. We have a normalized society in which men can move around as they please while the rest of us fear for our lives for the simple act of traveling home. This is bullshit. All you guys know that if a woman is brave enough to go into a men's washroom because the women's washroom is either broken down or has too many people in it, the men don't chase her out. The men don't give her a hard time. Try going into the women's as a man. No. These women have far more freedom in society. Let's say they have privileges men lack. Then they give some bullshit article. Drivers are nearly 4 times more likely to try to mow down female cyclists. It's a total lie. And then, of course, she brings up another one that in the next paragraph, she debunks it, of course. So these women are hostile to men and they're liars, right? So let's see. I also want to debunk this idea about safety too, right? Because she said, but now that more women are keen to take up cycling, it is agreed that safety is paramount, right? And let's see. She's talking about women's obsession with safety in full flight, with women leading the push for COVID lockdowns in most countries. This is not due to fear. This is due to domination. You know why? Because YouTube is replete with what they call Karens, in other words, women who demand that they should not have to wear a mask. So if it's about fear, these so-called Karens wouldn't exist. No, both cases, women are looking for dominance. They're demanding. It's just them exercising their will on society, right? Then they go on about, oh yeah, let's see. I just want to get this about Fleemango. Let's see. So safety, go to the word. Okay, it was one of which none of the typical masculine virtues required by war were in evidence. Gone was the valorization of stoicism, courage, forgetfulness of self, blah, blah, blah. I just want to point that out because Fiamenko is not on men's side. She's a feminist tradcon. Well, she's a tradcon for sure. I'm sure she started off as a feminist too. And when they bring out men's virtues, what they're really saying is we love men's servitude. We don't want men to have self-regard. So don't be fooled by Janice Fiamenko, okay? Now, they talk about the comic book industry. We don't need to hear any of that. We already know what that's about. That's women, again, just trashing something that men enjoy for the sake of trashing it. They don't want men's toys. They want to destroy men's toys. It's not like that picture up top where the little girl is trying to get a boy's toy because she likes it. She wants to destroy the toy because she knows the boy likes it. That's the difference. Okay, talking about superheroes again. There's no point in talking about that. Okay, endless other male bastions are currently under siege, of course. The exclusive Australian club is holding out, still refusing to admit female members after 146 years of men only. Good on them. Frankly, not enough men clubs do that. Most of them cave in. There's absolutely nothing wrong with having one bar. It's just that they're insulted, like, how dare you say I can't go somewhere? And they also want to dominate and abuse the men in these situations. They want to be in charge, right? Sydney's Cranbrook School is being bullied to submission, forced by the new head of it to admit girls. Now, they're saying you can't have all boys school now. And I'm going to tell you what the main motivation to this is. When these female teachers, they probably still have female teachers in these all boys schools. There's no good in downgrading the boys because some are still going to jump ahead. They want girls in there so they can crank the girls up and downgrade the boys. Because if there's only boys there, people would get a heads up. They'd start saying, how come all the boys are suffering? Huh? This week, the school board resigned after strenuously resisting the move. Wow, good on them. Good on the school board. But the fact that they got zapped by these bigoted assholes is disgusting. Now, given that one of these eastern suburb schools spawned Channel Contos, who in 2021 encouraged thousands of private girls' schools to publicly shame males using sexual false allegation. Holy shit, they're not shaming men. What they're doing is slandering men. So she's got it wrong again. And so there's private girls' schools, right? So they don't want boys to have an all-boys school, right? It seems risky to invite these woke, come on, she uses the word feminist all the way through, then she jumps to woke, privileged young women into the fold. This is inviting. these women are trying to push their way in, and actually they're making their way in, right? And of course, one of the most outrageous examples of women chasing men's toys is their demand to enter into men's sheds. They're not chasing men's toys. The guys, these aren't playthings for guys. Guys cycling is not them playing. I hate the way she couches this. Here we have a rare organization which was started exclusively for males only about 15 years ago, designed particularly for older, retired men to come together and support each other. So it's a support group. And these women don't want men to have support. They don't like the idea of men having freedom and excluding women and healing dynamic. They don't want men to heal. They want a woman in there to keep these men in their place because men censor themselves around women. Everybody knows that. It's a cooling effect. But suddenly women wanted in the sheds and found themselves under pressure from women who liked the idea of joining cozy woodwork sessions with the boys. This is bullshit. Most women reject the boys and want to hang together. So it's just done out of spite and resentment and frankly dislike of men. It's led a huge split in the movement between those who are still keen to promote the mateship they believe vital to encouraging proper support for vulnerable men, okay, and those who prefer to win brownie points from the ladies by embracing inclusiveness. It's not inclusiveness. It's not inclusiveness. This is just man hatred. So this is what I know I've done videos like this before, but this bears repeating over and over again. And also you have to correct these people's how are they doing their narrative. Sorry, Bettina, even though you have, what do you call it, good intentions, you couch it wrong, you frame it wrong, and so I'm giving it the correct framing. Okay, thank you, everyone.